ranks. It ain't limited to no ships. That everybody is your opponent. Know your opponent. If you don't know your opponent, then you can go ahead and turn this, go on somewhere else, turn off YouTube. We'll see you next time on another topic, but for right now, if you don't know your opponent, you need to go on elsewhere.
Unfiltered, unapologetic, unbounded. You're listening to the Unbounded podcast with Christopher Allen.
And welcome to the Unbounded podcast. This is the podcast with no chains, no rules, and no safe words anywhere in sight. I am your host, Christopher Allen, and co-host,
DZD
in the building. And we, as always, sponsored by Jay Johnson Value Auto Care. Link is down in that description. And also, Drinking Days Custom Homebrew Booze. Got to get you some.
Every time I hear it, it makes me want to just call.
Today, we are talking about something that molded you, made you, shaped you, tried to break you, but yet you are still here. And we are talking about the game. Tell them what it means, because we ain't talking about Triple H.
Oh no, for all the wrestling fans. We ain't talking Triple H. So the game, ladies, gentlemen, and lowlifes. When you shoot your shot and you miss, you charge it to the game. When you thought you had what you had but didn't, you charge it to the game. The game is what I like to call a universal merry-go-round pre-relationship. Whereas, when you basically essentially thought you had something but you didn't, or, you tried something and didn't succeed, or whatever the case may be, we call that the game. And as the man who wrote the book, the script, directed the movie, starred in the movie, came up with the initial concept, the blueprints, all of that. I'm here, Uncle AJ is here to tell y'all about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, before I get started, because once I get started, it ain't going to be no stopping.
Okay.
Please, tell me, give me your thoughts or feelings or emotions, opinions, perspectives, whatever, about the game.
So, to me, the game is the embodiment. People talk about, the Players Club. The Players Club exists because there is a game to be played. And the players are playing it. And at least one point in your life, you were the chief player.
King of the chessboard.
And you was playing the game, and that entails things like the art of pulling the women, the art of the smooth talk, the art of maybe even a little bit of double speak sometimes. There's all kinds of different micro elements to the game that are encompassing this. And you have been able to become a master of many, if not all, but at least many.
You get to truly understand something, you must first master it.
Yes.
But back in the day, back in my heyday, oh man, the game was me. You would come to me to know the game. You would come to me to know about, whether the game is being run on you or whatever the case may be. You would come to me to find out how to, maneuver them waters. But I'm going to dip into my memory banks here and, try to see if I can help somebody out there out. Because a lot of y'all do a lot of complaining about things that just typically get charged to the game. And I feel like, to help you personally, that if you knew what was going on, how to recognize the signs of the game, then you would not have it. What in the world are you said still?
Look, just a little Facebook stuff. You know.
Jeez.
Trying to get us both in the. And this is why we can't have
This is
nice
why we
things.
can't have nice things.
This right here. I apologize.
Good.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Yes. Okay. You said we live on the book?
Yeah, just a little teaser. You know, I ain't gonna give them the whole thing.
Yeah, we are. Hey. But Uncle AJ's here to tell y'all about the game, how to recognize the signs, what's gonna happen next, and then how to maneuver your way in the waters. So let's start with, how do you know that somebody is running game on you? Okay. First things first, you always want to know your opponent. And if you're wondering who your opponent is, everybody's your opponent. The game ain't limited to relationships. The game ain't limited to friendships. It ain't limited to no ships. That everybody is your opponent. Know your opponent. If you don't know your opponent, then you can go ahead and turn this, go on somewhere else, turn off YouTube. We'll see you next time on another topic, but for right now, if you don't know your opponent, you need to go on elsewhere. If you do know your opponent, then you have to know how they maneuver and move, know how they maneuver and they move and all of this, know their ins and outs, their course. I'm not saying no, as a dude, I'm not saying no, when they suffering from blue balls or whatever, or as a female, know their menstrual cycle. No, I'm just saying know how they move and they maneuver, know their ins and outs and all of that. See it, study it, observe it, watch it, whatever. Watch these people around you. If you're not watching the people around you, why do you have them around you? And then look for the subtle changes in what they're doing, because what's going to happen is, before somebody tries to start running a game on you, something is going to happen, something's going to click, and you're going to miss it, and this is how you're going to get the game run on you.
So had you just caught that little detail,
one teeny tiny little detail, you could have avoided all of this, stuff that comes up afterward. But catch that, watch them, observe it, study it, know it.
Live it, learn it, love it.
But that detail, you missed it. It happens to everybody, especially if they're professional game players. It happens to everybody. You missed that one little detail. So now you about to start having game run on you. Okay, here's an example of what I mean when I said all of that stuff in the beginning. All right, I watch everybody around me, period. If people start acting one way 1 minute, or talking a certain way 1 minute, and then all of a sudden they do something different, or say something different, or whatever, they change it up, all the shit like that. An example being, I got people who will talk to me about certain things, but don't talk to me about other things. And then all of a sudden, one day they'll come to me and they'll talk to me about, they'll talk about the other things that we never talked about before. Whatever. Or they'll want to do things they've never done before. Whatever. Okay, maybe there's a sense that, they might be trying to open up, or maybe they're trying to, vent, or whatever the case may be. Okay, again, that could very well be true, but like I said, everybody's your opponent in the game. So trust but verify. Remember those 3 words.
Stay hip.
Remember those 3 words. Trust but verify. With that being said, what's going to happen after that subtle change happens is they're going to go back to what they were before. That's going to be to distract you from whatever the fuck they just did. Let's say, they went from, being all sweet to you and all sorts of stuff like that, to talking shit about you real quick, real subtle, like small stuff, but then go back to being sweet to you again. Okay, now they playing with you, because again, what just basically happens in the game at that point is they repeat the cycle on it, whatever. Kind of to just gauge where you are in this situation. So when that cycle repeats itself, it'll become more apparent to you. But at this point, there could be days, weeks, months already invested in it before you ever notice it. So now the grip is a little tighter on you than it would have been had you caught it the first time it happened.
Right.
Does that make sense? Am I making sense so far?
Yes.
Okay. Like it would have been it would have been a little easier to nip it in the bud had you caught it the first time and then addressed it the first time. But no, it's happened multiple times. You have just been unaware of it. So now that you finally see it, now you want to address it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it comes then what happens next is it's put back on you at that point. Let me give an example of what I mean. Like I said earlier, somebody went from talking sweet to talking shit. And they go back and forth with that for a little bit until you say something about it. Why are you always talking shit to me? Whatever. Oh, I don't know what you tripping for. I was just playing with you. I was just messing with you. I didn't mean nothing by it. Whatever.
Oh, chill, man. It was just a joke.
You just overreacting. You overthink. Things like that. Stuff like that. Whatever. So now, you
like when somebody like said some real shit, but then it's like they trying to like a walk back almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So now it's like, okay, now you questioning yourself or whatever, and then you go through this process over and over again, whatever. The differences become more and more frequent, more and more apparent, also shit like that. But and then eventually, you end up getting, fucked over in the end. Let's just say that. You just had game run on you. The game part, because I think that's the part I didn't make as clear as should be. The game that was run on you is that this person was getting what they wanted out of you the whole time that they were running that game, that they were changing up. They wanted, they wanted you to be sweet to them, so they were sweet to you. But then they want you to fall back. They want you to, they want to kind of test you at that part. They want you to see how far they can push you. So that's where the shit talking comes in, whatever. But now it's done, and then they going on about their business, but they got everything that they wanted in the meantime. They got the money, they got the clothes, they got the place they had the place to stay or whatever. They got the sex, and they got the, crazy, ridiculous shit that you wouldn't do for anyone else. Whatever. They got all of that out of you in the meantime, but meanwhile, you standing here on the sideline with game just being run on you because you missed one sign in the beginning. Like, that to me, crazy. Another type sort of aspect in the game, and again, this is where I feel like people run game on me. But I'm clearly aware of what's going on for me to be here to talk about it now. This is where I feel people run game on me.
So let me just make sure I'm tracking here.
Yeah.
So what you seem to be speaking of running game in a broader sense than maybe I've thought about it. It's not just from you running game off, because like I said at the top, I feel like it's like a guy running game on a girl, just spitting game type of thing.
Yeah.
So, but to me, it also sounds like you're saying running game can be just people in general trying to fucking play you.
Exactly. That's what the game is. That's spitting game. I don't know where the fuck that came from, honestly. That's flirting. That's trying to, that's, you know what? No, let me address it this way. That's another aspect of the game. Again, the game
it's like a sub.
The game has many opponents and it also has many levels.
Yes.
That aspect, let me try to briefly talk about that. So, okay. You go meet a girl in a club or something like that. All right. Now you know your opponent. Your opponent this time, you don't know your opponent personally, but your opponent this time is a woman. So now because you don't know her personally, you try to think about the things that women would want in order for you to get them, so you can do the 4 F's, as we like to call it in my inner circle. Find them, fool them, fuck them, forget them. That's the game.
Y'all, he just gave you a gold nugget.
That's the game. Again, I'll say it one more time for my inner circle. 4 F's. Find them, fool them, fuck them, forget them. So, your opponent being the woman you don't know personally, you think, what do women like? Oh, women like nice bodies. I got a nice body, or I got nice features about me I can talk up. Oh, women like nice cars. Shit, I got a car in general. Most of these bitches around here just be happy to not be walking. Women like money. Oh, well, let me get a couple $100 out of my rent check and go ahead and flash this in front of hers to see if she like it, whatever. And then you just go up and you bold-faced lie about the shit that you don't have. Yeah, man, girl, I got this fly-ass whatever car, I got this fly-ass pad, whatever. And then you start getting her in like the little dude who's fishing with the dollar bills. Yeah, that shit. And then you found her, you fooled her with your lies, you take her home, you fucked her, and then guess what? The next day, you forgot about her.
And when she calls, ghost.
That's it. And then guess what? Now you sitting there, you going back to your level in the game, you going back to the beginning of your 4 F's, while she's sitting there with game ran on her.
Looking crazy.
Because she wasn't paying attention to the signs in the beginning. Or just, was, stupid, just drunk, whatever, got taken advantage of. Anything happened. But another aspect of the game where this is what I feel like most people frequently try to run game on me, as if I'm not going to catch this. I just don't say anything about it. So people will people interact with you a certain way. And then all of a sudden they change it up and they want to interact with you at another level. Like, I'll have people who rarely ever speak to me just want to randomly come up and when they're going through something or when they see I got something. One of those two. Then they'll want to come up. And then it'll be like, oh, hey, yeah, I just wanted to check on you, or I just wanted to see how you doing, or I just wanted to ask you a quick question, whatever, stuff like that, whatever. Now, I know there could be days, weeks, and months before this we never spoke.
Right.
But now, all of a sudden, either this day, you going through something, or I have something, and now it's a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And
it always starts with that random text or call.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hey. They try to butter you up first.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what do you want?
So they can get to what they want or get to what you have. They running game. Because once you are stupid enough to fall for their words and what they say and all this other shit like that, once you dumb enough to fall for it and give them what they want, then you're going to go back to your days, weeks, and months of not talking again. Like, it's so many different levels to this shit. Like, and I'm not even talking, I don't have enough time in the day to go over all aspects of the game. But hopefully these are some of the ones that are most common. Like, there's a level where, the part where charging to the game comes in. If me and you trying to shoot our shot at the same female, one of us wins, the other one doesn't, then you can't be mad at the female or that person. You got to charge that one to the game. Like, their level in the game is a little bit higher than yours. So, like, they may know some shit and say some shit, whatever, to then get to the 4Fs. Whatever, because they
You know what I'm thinking right now.
I know exactly what you're saying. That's probably why I didn't look at that camera when I said anything. I was looking directly toward you, But...
And in hindsight, yes, I should have charged that to the game. Instead, I got all butthurt about it, and whined and cried and bitched about it for the next 7 fucking years, minimum. But it's part of the game. I got outgained. You outgained me. It's like how basketball teams or football teams, sometimes you get outcoached.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get outplayed, you get outworked. Charge to the game.
That's it. So, yeah, now how do you...
You had time.
Yeah. So it's like now you talking about how do you know you getting game run on you, whatever. Know your opponent. That's how you know. Really watch, really observe your opponent. Stop falling for the first thing that everybody tell you. Stop falling for the first thing that everybody do for you. Look for consistency. Look for consistent behavior in your opponent. And because that way when you notice consistency in somebody for a extended amount of time, the minute, the second, the hour something change, you already know that you're going to jump right on it and address it right there. Like, but no, some of y'all just be out here happy and go lucky and they gave me attention, or yay, they said they complimented me or whatever, and then you end up a victim of the game. Coming crying to me, talking about why they do this, why that, whatever. Hey, don't ask me, charge it to the game. But yeah, how to get out of the game. It's easier to get out the game in the beginning of it than it is once you vested with somebody who's running game on you. In the beginning of the game, you revert back to everything I said toward the beginning of this video. Whereas you look for the signs, know your opponent, stuff like that, whatever. That way, again, you address it and you nip it in the bud and you get the fuck out right there. When you see a sign that says, this motherfucker might be running game on me, you got to address that shit right there. Can't let it sit, can't let it fester, can't think about it, can't do nothing. You got to go with that shit right there, right there.
It's like what I call the boa constrictor example. If you're getting wrapped around if you get out early and react early enough, if a boa constrictor starts wrapping itself, you might be able to survive.
Yeah.
But if you sit here and go, oh man, this looks like a boa constrictor is wrapping itself around me. Gee, I wonder why this is happening. Next thing you know, you're dead.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
You took too long.
But, now again, let's say you are vested in the game and you have, made an investment physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever, with this person who could potentially be running game on you. The way around that, and there's honestly only one real effective way around that, because you can't just leave. You can just leave, honestly. But when you have feelings and emotions and all that stuff tied into it, you can't just leave. Mm-hmm. The one real way to avoid the game, or you can never avoid the game, let me put it that way. The one real way to manipulate the game in this situation is that you have to turn it in your favor. You have to deliver the same energy that you are getting. I.e., if somebody's changing up on you, change some things up on them.
Match their energy.
Exactly. Somebody dressing a little different, start dressing a little different. They wearing different scents, wear different scents. Change up yourself to match their energy. That's the only way I think to put it. Because what's going to happen is when you start doing what they're doing, they are going to address it. Because they already know the signs. They already see what's going on. They see what you're doing damn near before you do it. So that they won't sit back and let you just keep changing shit up and doing extra shit up days, weeks, and months on end. The first time they see it, they are going to address it right then and there. And when they do, now they have let their guard down. Now they are going to open up the floodgate to a conversation that they really didn't want to have. I.e., hey Chris, you wearing purple today. I ain't never seen you wear purple today. What's going on? Why the sudden change? And your response to me would be, funny. I could ask you the same question because you've been doing this, and I ain't never seen you do this, and this before. Now you done set them up.
Yep.
To open a floodgate to their own demise. Where now either they got to make a change or they got to let you go. If they make a change, it's because you caught them in the game, and they honestly do have a new level of respect and caring for you, and they are going to change as they want you to change. If they let you go, it's because you caught them in the game, and they now know that they can no longer run game on you, so now they got to go find somebody else to run game on. Ladies and gentlemen,
Beautiful scene.
that, in a nutshell, in a very broadish overview, is the game. It's never ending. There are unlimited opponents. It is not restricted to any sort of, it's not tied to any title other than the game. And that's it. You want to recognize it early. You want to let that knowledge soak in early. How to avoid, how you avoid all this, the game altogether. That's what I would ask if I was the host of this show. But I'm not.
How do you avoid the game?
Oh, thank you. So glad you asked. Up front and honest. Up front, honest transparency. No matter what. Deliver it, demand it. That's how you avoid the game. The game is a game of mental manipulation. And if you aren't proficient in mental gymnastics, you would not know that. But if you come to me and say, hey, listen, AJ, let me tell you, I'm overweight, I'm out of shape, I'm fucking sick of it. Whatever. My nose is big, my chin's a little puffy, I got small ears for my head, whatever. But, now, I do tell me honestly about you. And I'd be like, well, Chris, shit. Okay. I'd be like, listen, I would tell you something. I'd be like, hey, I got a 20 foot long dick. Like, Chris, you be like, I don't believe that. I don't believe it. Whatever. You know why? Because you're going to trust your gut. Trust your gut.
Never steers you wrong.
Again, you have to make, honesty can be felt. Words can be said, honesty can be felt. If you don't feel what somebody is saying to you is honest, then they're lying to you. Simple and plain. They're running game on you. Simple and plain. But I would tell you, honestly, about me, I'm 6'4", my damn stomach is sticking out further than I want it to. I feel like I got man titties. I don't even know what my fucking ears are like, but I feel like in my head, in comparison to my head, they might be abnormally sized. I have dimples apparently. I need a fucking haircut. Alright? And, shit like that.
Yeah.
I could have said anything else more important in life then words can be said, but honesty is felt.
That was deep.
Like,
I felt that.
I could have never said anything more important than that in my 32 years of existence. Like, that's how you avoid the game. Honesty. Upfront, transparent honesty. Supply it and then demand it. That's it. If you are sitting down with somebody and you are confronting them and you are making them be upfront and honest with you about it, there's no way they can run game on you. There's no way they can run a game on you. Also, another way to avoid a game, consistency. That's another way that you can avoid being put in the game. Supply it and then demand it. Be consistent with what you got going on. Because again, when you see a change, you're going to question it, and you need to question it before you come around 8, 9, 10 months later or whatever and feel like and realize, oh shit, that motherfucker just ran game on me. That motherfucker just got me for everything.
And to me, there are some people in situations who they're just gonna be in the game. We have family/friends who I feel like their every move is running game.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you think I'm that stupid?
Yeah.
Like, but you keep running. And as much as I supply and demand honesty, I see what you did there, supply and demand. They still gonna try and run game.
Like, and again, you know, it's just certain things about people. Like, there are certain consistencies in people that just will not change. Like, me, myself, personally, I feel like me as a person, I will always love wrestling. Like, nothing or no one about that is ever going to change it. No amount of plans I've made or anything like that has ever come between me and my wrestling. If I'm not at home to watch it when it's live, then I will DVR it and watch it when I get home. You know, that's just a consistent thing about me. Like, there are certain things, like, again, compulsive liars are a thing. Like, no matter how much you can tell somebody, listen, just be honest with me. I don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter to me what you did or whatever. Just don't lie to me about it. You know, whatever. They gonna still lie.
Yeah.
You know, and you know that's just who they are as a person. Like, again, they are consistent, but they will be consistently running game on you. Like, regardless. So it's up to you to see what your tolerance level is. Because if you in the game already and you looking for a way out, I've given you my advice, but I can never truly tell somebody how to once and for all escape the game if you already in the game. Like, if you know it and you see it and you, for lack of better words, choose to do nothing about it, well then I don't think you have room to talk about it. But, you know, if it's something that's brand new to you, or it's something that you know at this point that you don't want, then come see Uncle AJ and I can help you to maneuver it, or to get around it, to get out of it, or to stop it, you know? Damn, I'm good. Damn, I'm good.
I love it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Truth Juice. And it's hitting! Every Monday, the Truth Juice is flowing. And we appreciate you watching and checking out our sponsors down below. Drinking Days Custom Homebrew Booze and Jay Johnson's Value Auto Care. All links down below in this general area.
Somewhere around here.
Yeah. The game. It is what it is.
Before you salute out, hold
Yep.
on. You got to tell them, now listen. Like I said, there is a common law in the game. And everybody should know this because everybody's a player in the game, whether you realize it or not. Never hate the player. Always respect the game. And on that note,